Okay, so today we have a video where we are going to be ranking in tier lists, yes, they're still in style, the LEGO themes that are unlicensed between the years of essentially 2007 to 2021. Now, these themes, I might be missing a few. I know Elves isn't on here, but these are the ones that are the most memorable to me, and these are the ones that I thought were important, and I'm going to be ranking them today. So we have S, A, B, C, D. I'm sure you've seen a video like this at some point. And I will be placing them in superior A, B, C, and D. So let's get into it. Alright, so first up here we have Nexo Knights. I never really bought Nexo Knights sets. It was never my thing so much. So that one for me, Eh, it's going C. Sorry. I know people like this series, but it doesn't beat normal Knights for me. Next up, we have Video Automatic D tier. There's no plot to this theme, I should say. Um, the sets are not really interesting to me. Really colorful, kind of ugly themes. Definitely not the target audience, but also because of that, this list is just my opinions, and that gives it D tier. Bionicle is the next one. This is one's going to be a bit controversial, but for me, Bionicle was just not one of my favorite themes. I don't know. I bought some of the sets, but it's not what I think of as Lego, in my opinion. I get a lot of people like it, and that's great. And whatever floats your boat. To each his own. But for that reason, for me, I'm gonna put it down here with Nexo Knights and C. Sorry, the Lego Ninjago movie set. So this isn't Ninjago, but the Ninjago movie. These sets were really freaking good. I don't care for Ninjago all that much. I watched the show as a kid, haven't watched it recently. Didn't really watch the Ninjago movie until I was on an airplane. But the sets, I'll say, they're really solid. Lots of good options. So I'm gonna give it a. Ooh, it's hard to say. Maybe A. It gets an A tier. Lego City. Lego City is all over the place. Um, there's some great sets, some not so great sets. It goes up and down, but uh, it's gonna get B. Yeah, overall, it gets a B. There's not too much to say about it. Lego City has never been my thing. I bought, some like dump trucks as a kid, but I don't know. It's gotten better over the last few years, so I will say that. Atlantis. This is one of my absolute favorite themes of all time. I have most of the sets. Tons of nostalgia for this. The underwater setting is freaking fantastic. Um, I don't know if objectively it deserves an S. Just in my personal opinion, how much I love it, it gets an S. But I'm gonna give it an A. I think that's fair. Castle 2008 2009 Castle. This is the castle where they're fighting trolls and skeletons. And this is one of the best themes Lego has made. I love this theme. There's a great plot. It was in the Clutch Powers movie. That's how I first learned about it. But the sets are great. Great theming. Great environment. Great minifigures. Gets an A tier. All right. The next one is the castle that was in 2015, I believe. This castle is a little bit younger. The sets were a lot less complicated, less gritty, I would say, and less story involved in it, less character driven. So I'm gonna give this one. I hate to do it, but I think C is fair. Dino. I like this theme a lot, actually. It kind of got replaced by Jurassic World, which isn't on here because this is a unlicensed theme list. But Dino for me was always one that I enjoyed. I never bought any of the sets, but if I could go back, I'd probably buy most, if not all of them. Dino's gonna go in here with B next to City. Mixels D. I don't like this theme at all. I don't not really know how much more to say. I bought a few of them, the little poly bags, but it was interesting. They tried something and it didn't really work out, but it had a lot more ways than you would expect. Exoforce is one that I did not have any of the sets. It was a little bit before my time, but I think the sets are okay, I guess. Since I never really have any connection to it, I don't really understand it all that much. The sets I find don't hold up to today's standards. I think C is fair for that. Galaxy Squad is one that I didn't buy until they were on clearance, and fun fact, you can get this theme for pretty cheap still, so I'd recommend doing that if you don't have them. But Galaxy Squad for me is gonna go in the A tier. A, B, it's hard to say. Um, Maybe A. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still making up my mind on some of these. Galaxy Squad there's some really good sets, really good minifigures. I like the theming. It's space, but in the end, I think I probably have to put it in B just objectively for how popular it was. And, the sets didn't have enough sets to really show its true glory and was a little boring and repetitive by the end. Lego Friends, this one I added. I didn't add most of the girl themes, if you will, but this one I added. I think it's a good thing that Lego branched out. Lego's been trying to branch out, but this was the first theme that was really a big hit to more of a female audience, and I think it's great. Everyone should like Lego. So I'm gonna put it in A. Not one that I have a bunch of sets of, obviously, but it's a solid theme with some decent sets, and it bridges out to a new audience. So I like that. Lego Kingdoms is similar to the castle theme. The succeeded castle in like the 2009-ish era, but came before the castle in 2015. I really like these sets. I don't think it's quite as good as this castle, but it's better than this castle, so that gives it a B ranking. Ninjago. I got some flack for some videos. I've said I don't really care for Ninjago. The sets are really repetitive, in my opinion. Lots of motorcycles, lots of vehicles, but they've done a decent job for a theme that's lasted as long as it is. I have some of the sets. The Temple of Light is a good set. That's one that I got. I'm gonna give Ninjago a B in my opinion. Compromise for it. If it was just how much I care for the sets now and how much they interest me, it would probably be a C. But you know what? It is a C. This is my opinion. Suck it up. Ninjago's a C. It's high C, low B. All right. Pirates, and this is the 2008-2009 era Pirates. This Pirates is one of my favorite themes in Lego. I didn't really get enough of them at the time, which was a big mistake. But I remember I went to Denmark, Billund in Denmark, and I got a little Pirates blister pack, and I loved that set and the captain. And I still have some of the minifigures up on my Pirates display shelf. I've gone back through. I got the Imperial flagship, which is one of the best Lego sets of all time. Some great, great sets. I'd love to get the fort one day. Pirates, for me, that's going to be my first S tier in this video. Yeah, I said it. Speed Champions. I don't really like this theme. Cars has never been my thing. Again, super repetitive, which is it obviously is going to be. But I think that's fair. C. It's just nothing super flavorful and interesting. The same way all these themes are. It's just not that exciting. Agents, and this is the Agents that was the earlier one. It's really cool, some of these sets, and some of them even hold up to today's standards. I've heard there's some fragile ones, but yeah, I give this theme. I think this theme deserves an A, and this is the only theme in the A so far that I don't think I own a single set from, even a small one. All right, Hidden Side. Okay, Hidden Side was okay. I bought a couple of sets on clearance, but again, suffered from some of the same problems that some of these themes suffered from. I liked the app connection that they tried something there, but again, it wasn't executed all that well, in my opinion. I think a fair spot for it would probably be in the B tier. C tier might be more appropriate. Sorry. Pharaoh's Quest, another great theme, very short-lived, but I loved the theming, and they haven't really done an Egyptian theme recently. They had the Adventures in the 90s, but this one was for my time, and I have the Pyramid, and I love it, and I wish Lego would do more themes like this, like little one-off short themes, and I think it's fair to put it in the A tier. I really like it. Pirates 2015 is a little bit like the Castle 2015, where it was a little bit dumbed down, not dumbed down, but made a little bit for more of a younger audience. And so I think I have to put it in A tier instead of S tier. It's not as good as that one, but they have some decent sets. Yeah, that's fair. Alright, Ultra Agents. This one I did have a couple of sets from, unlike the other Agents. But I don't think it has the same charm that Agents does. It's close, but it's not quite there. They had like super villains in this theme like they did in the one before, and I think that's cool. It's a cool idea, and I would like to see something come back. It's a little bit more futuristic than this one, but you know, it's not too bad. Unikitty is another one that's going to go D tier for me. It's very similar to Mixels and Video. These three themes are a lot alike, with the mystery pack sort of style. And Mexels wasn't a mystery, but you know, they came in a little bag. They had some cheap figures, and I don't know. It just the Unikitty wasn't a good enough character to stand alone, unlike the Lego Movie. Away from the Lego Movie, I guess I should say. Okay, Monster Fighters. This theme is a really good one. I quite like it. But I think it's on par with a Galaxy Squad. Um, it's a little bit like Agents, where you have the villain. It's got a really good plot to it, which was cool, and some of the bigger sets were awesome for it. So I think B is really fair. Chima. Chima is one that I actually had a lot of sets from. Looking back, I don't really care for it as much as I did as a kid, but there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people are nostalgic for it. At the time, there was this whole thing where it was gonna be replacing Ninjago, which ended up, you know, not really happening. But it lasted a bunch of seasons, longer than you would expect. And so I would say that overall the sets were a little bland. Story was decent, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a C. Monkey Kid is going in the D tier for me. Nothing wrong with it. The sets are actually really good, but it's just something that I'm not interested in at all. I can't really explain it, but just the theming is not for me. It seems like Ninjago that's not as good. Uh, Maybe that's unfair to it to put it there because the sets are, you know, if it was a theme that was more interesting, like the theming itself, the sets alone would get it up to like an A tier, B tier. Like the sets are really well designed. Props to the designers, but you know, it is what it is. Power Miners is a good one. I really like Power Miners. A lot of people like this theme and would love to see it come back. I added it to my themes that I would love to see come back video. So I think Power Miners deserves, I don't know, Power Miners A tier. I think that's fair. Lego Movie. Lego Movie is a really, really good theme. Some of the sets were better than other sets, but I liked that they just sort of pushed the limits of what Lego could be with this. Obviously, they had the movie, which was a really, really good movie. Lego Movie is gonna, for me, get A tier. I think that's fair. And as time is going on, I'm thinking about it, and I have to say that I have to do a little bit of moving around here. Atlantis and Castle deserve to be a little bit higher above these themes, just in my opinion. These are the themes that deserve the S tier, and the A tier themes, they're just a step above them. Um, Okay, Vikings. Vikings, in my mind, is one that they didn't have that many sets because there's just not as much that you can do with it as some of these other themes. But the sets that they did have were really cool, and you know I think Lego goes well with Vikings because Vikings are Scandinavian and Lego is Scandinavian, so I think the chemistry works well there. So Vikings for me is gonna get a B tier. You know I think it's a good theme. And last but not least, World Racers. And I know what you're thinking, Sam, what the heck is World Racers? And the answer is I don't know. This is one of the themes that is just totally forgettable in my mind. I remember seeing sets in the store now that I think about it, but like this, I totally forget about this theme. So for that reason, it gets a D tier. Clearly, it wasn't that memorable. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for the video. What do you think? Do you disagree with the ratings that I gave it? I'm going to see if I can put this in the description so you can rank this yourself. But let me know what you think of these themes and my ranking of them. Tell me how wrong I am in the comment section. And thanks for watching.